Quick question, where do the wealthiest people in Cincinnati actually live? And if your first thought is Indian Hill, you're not wrong, but you're only getting about half the story. See, most people hear rich in Cincinnati and picture 5-acre horse farms and long gravel driveways, and sure, that exists, but there's a massive quiet shift happening right now. We're seeing ultra high net worth buyers choosing 100-year-old historic manors where they can walk to a coffee shop, or sleek, high-tech glass boxes overlooking the Ohio River. So if you're relocating here and Googling best neighborhoods in Cincinnati, there's a good chance you're looking at the wrong metrics entirely. Because here's the thing, wealthy in Cincinnati does not look like wealth in New York or in LA. It's quieter, it's a little more spread out. And if you don't know where to look, you'll drive right past the most expensive real estate in the Midwest without even realizing it. So let's fix that today. So, the Green Cathedral, the village of Indian Hill. All right. When we're talking about ultra wealth in Cincinnati, obviously we have to start with the heavyweight champion. Indian Hill isn't just a neighborhood, it's a lifestyle statement, and the numbers back that up. According to Zillow research data from early in 2026, the typical home value in the village of Indian Hill has climbed to approximately $1.589 million. That's a steady climb over the last year, and it proves that this market remains incredibly resilient, even when other areas in town are seeing volatility. But here's the nuance most people miss. You're not just buying a house in Indian Hill, you're buying zoning. The village is famous for its 5-acre minimum rule in many areas, and that creates a literal buffer of privacy around every property. On top of that, Indian Hill has its own ranger-led police force and zero commercial property. None. No gas stations, no Starbucks, no strip malls. It's a pure residential sanctuary. So if you want a property with a stable, a pond, and enough space that your neighbor can't see your morning coffee routine, Indian Hill is the place. It's old money Cincinnati, like at its finest. And the second would be where the sophisticated socialites hang out, Hyde Park and Mount Lookout. So if Indian Hill is the old money quiet retreat, Hyde Park is where that money goes to be seen. And I mean that in the best possible way. So according to reports from the Cincinnati MLS and Redfin, the 45208 zip code, which covers Hyde Park and parts of Mount Lookout, it remains one of the most consistently high demand markets in the city, with median sales prices in the luxury tier homes frequently exceeding $1 million. The real draw here, it's the square. Hyde Park Square, it's walkable, it's historic, it's where you'll find CEOs who want to be 5 minutes from the office but still have a yard for their labradoodle. So it's a different flavor of wealth, right? One that values stunning 1920s Tudor architecture and the ability to walk to the farmer's market on a Sunday morning. So if Indian Hill is about seclusion, Hyde Park is about lifestyle. And for a lot of people, that's the more attractive package. Okay, so we've covered the sprawling estates and the historic squares, but what if I told you the wealthiest zip code in the entire region actually belongs to a tiny village you can walk across in about 15 minutes? We're going to dive into that secret zip code next, plus the riverfront penthouses that are currently breaking price per square foot records. But first, if you're planning a move to Cincinnati and you want to really understand the full layout of these elite pockets, you're going to need our free relocation guide. It breaks down the specific neighborhoods, top-rated schools, in-demand industries, and all the local insights you need to make a smooth transaction. So grab it right now. The link's in the description and the top pinned comment. Okay, let's talk about the surprise leader, Terrace Park. All right, this one surprises people every time I bring it up. According to the data from the US Census Bureau and the current 2026 projections, the 45174 zip code, that's Terrace Park, it's a quiet powerhouse. It ranks among the wealthiest zip codes in the state by median household income, currently estimated at approximately $197,750 a year, with over half the village earning more than $200,000 annually, and yet it's essentially Mayberry for the ultra wealthy. Terrace Park is a literal peninsula surrounded by the Little Miami River. You'll see kids riding their bikes to school and families walking or taking their golf carts to community events on the village green. Neighbors who actually know each other's names. It's not about acreage here, it's about the community fabric. It's the kind of place where people move in and they stay for 40 years. And honestly, that tells you everything you need to know about how special it is. Hey, by the way, I'm Peter Chabris. At the Chabris Group, we don't just sell houses. We help you navigate the culture and the data of the Cincinnati market so you can make a move you're genuinely proud of. That's what today's video is all about, peeling back the curtain on where the top 1% actually lives here in the Queen City. If you're finding this helpful, do me a quick favor. Tap that like button and go ahead and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing you the ground truth on Cincinnati real estate, and really, it means a lot. Now let's talk about the new frontier, the East End and Montgomery. So let's shift gears for a second. If you're someone who values new construction and high-end amenities over historic charm, you need to know about these two areas, Montgomery and the East End. Montgomery offers that polished suburban luxury, highlighted by the Gateway development. Meanwhile, the East End, which some people call it like the Gold Coast of Cincinnati, is where ultra-wealthy buyers are building modern, stunning glass boxes right on the river. And here's where it gets interesting. According to Redfin's 2026 market analysis, the East End is competing for some of the highest price per square foot metrics in the city, often hovering between about $270 and $350 a square foot. Why is that? Well, you're paying for an unobstructed river view and a 5-minute commute to downtown. That's an incredibly rare combination, and buyers are willing to pay a premium for it. This is kind of the new frontier of Cincinnati luxury, and honestly, I think we're just getting started. Now let's talk about the tax and school divide. All right, now here's the section that my relocating clients tell me is the biggest eye-opener. This is a big deal, because when you choose to live in Cincinnati, it isn't just about the house, it's about the tax math, and trust me. Once you see these numbers, it kind of changes how you evaluate everything. So here's an example. In the village of Indian Hill, the municipal income tax rate was recently adjusted to 0.5% for 2026, according to the official village council records. Now, compare that to the city of Cincinnati's 1.8% municipal tax. It's more than 3 times as much. On a high-earning salary, that delta is definitely significant. We're talking about a difference that could pay for a very nice car every single year. And that's not an exaggeration, right? Do the math on a $500,000 household income, and that gap adds up fast. The ultra wealthy in Cincinnati, they're data driven. They're not picking a neighborhood because it looks nice on Zillow. They're picking it because the combination of the school district, places like Indian Hill exempted or Marymount, and the tax structure creates the best long-term wealth preservation and value for the family. That's kind of the game within the game, and most people moving here don't realize it until someone walks them through it. So let's bring this all together. To really understand where the money is moving in Cincinnati, you have to look at what those families value most. For total privacy and sprawling estates, Indian Hill remains the clear choice. If you want a walkable, prestigious lifestyle with historic roots, Hyde Park is your best bet. Families looking for a tight-knit community where their kids can ride bikes to their friend's house, Terrace Park is the answer. And if you're craving modern luxury, river views, the East End is where the action is. Each of these pockets offers a unique take on the best life here in the Queen City. And that's what makes Cincinnati so interesting. There isn't one answer. There's the right answer for you. Cincinnati's luxury market is surprisingly diverse, and the best spot really depends on whether you value a horse barn or a walkable bistro, right? So here's what I'd say. If you're looking to make a move in the next 90 days or even in the next 9 months, let's talk. My team and I spend every day in these neighborhoods, and we'd love to share that local perspective with you. No pressure, right? Just a real conversation about what fits your life. And don't forget to grab our free relocation guide. The link is in the description below and in the top pinned comment. It's your ultimate shortcut for breaking down neighborhoods, identifying the top schools, and understanding the industries that drive our local economy. It's how you'll start feeling like a local before you even pack a box. So I'm Peter Chabris, and my team and I look forward to helping you find your way home here in Cincinnati.